Hello everyone. Welcome to Magical Stocks channel, where fundamentals meet technical. PSE index went up from 6,258.71 last May 7, 2021, to 6,269.36 this May 14, 2021. This performance is equivalent to a 0.17% increase in the index for the week. However, our magical stocks went down from 465.69k pesos to 457.35k pesos, or a minus 1.79% decrease in our investment. Overall, our magical stocks profit went down from 14.58k pesos to 6.25k pesos. We will update the 3 batches of magical stocks together with the 4 experimental magical stocks for this week's video. Before we proceed with our update, and if you are interested in investing using our magical stocks or monitoring our system's effectiveness, please like this channel, subscribe, and hit the notification button to keep you updated weekly. Let's first discuss the November experimental magical stocks performance from May 7, 2021, to May 14, 2021. Here is our worksheet for our November experimental stocks. Our top performer is SECB gaining 3.41%. While the least performer is MEG losing minus 34.18%. We have one sell signal in our 5 experimental stocks. Let's look at the trend which we started to monitor last November 20, 2020. The PSE index went up from minus 12.71% to minus 12.56%, gaining 0.15%. However, the experimental magical stocks went down from minus 7.06% to minus 10.05%. Losing minus 2.99%. The experiment is below the benchmark line, while the index is also below the benchmark line. Our experiment is above the index with a gap of 2.51% this May 14, 2021, coming from 5.65% last May 7, 2021. Let's now discuss the December experimental magical stocks performance from May 7, 2021, to May 14, 2021. Here is our worksheet for our December experimental stocks. Our top performer is FGen, gaining 9.93%, while the least performer is DMC losing minus 10.89%. We still don't have any sell signal for each of the 5 experimental stocks. Let's look at the experiment's trend, which we compare against the PSE index starting December 18, 2020. The PSE index went up from minus 13.94% to minus 13.8%. Gaining 0.15%. However, the experimental magical stocks went down from minus 4.13% to minus 4.53%, losing minus 0.4%. The experiment is below the benchmark line, while the index is also below the benchmark line. Our experiment is above the index with a gap of 9.27% this May 14, 2021, coming from 9.81% last May 7, 2021. Let's now discuss the February experimental magical stocks performance from May 7, 2021, to May 14, 2021. Here is our worksheet for our February experimental stocks. Our top performer is SCC but losing minus 1.42%, while the least performer is VLL losing minus 18.68%. We still don't have any sell signal for each of the 5 experimental stocks. Let's look at the experiment's trend, which we compare against the PSE index starting February 19, 2021. The PSE index went up from minus 9.64% to minus 9.49%, gaining 0.15%. The experimental magical stocks, however, went down from minus 8.18% to minus 9.02%, losing minus 0.84%. The experiment is below the benchmark line, while the index is also below the benchmark line. Our experiment is above the index with a gap of 0.46% this May 14, 2021, coming from 1.46% last May 7, 2021. Let's now discuss the March experimental magical stocks performance from May 7, 2021, to May 14, 2021. Here is our worksheet for our March experimental stocks. Our top performer is DMC gaining 8%, while the least performer is MPI losing minus 5.18%. We still don't have any sell signal for each of the 5 experimental stocks. Let's look at the experiment's trend, which we compare against the PSE index starting March 19, 2021. The PSE index went up from -2.76% to -2.59%, gaining 0.17%. However, the experimental magical stocks went down from 4.09% to 3.45%, losing -0.65%. The experiment is above the benchmark line, while the index is below the benchmark line. Our experiment is above the index with a gap of 6.04% this May 14, 2021, coming from 6.85% last May 7, 2021. Here is the worksheet for our 3 batches of magical stocks. MEG is not doing well. We are already losing by -11.52% at its current price of 2.6 pesos per share. It was at its highest at 4.3 pesos per share last January. We are still holding this stock until October 2021. Our first batch is above the market with a gap of 18.95% this May 14, 2021, coming from 20.11% last May 7, 2021. Our second batch is above the market with a gap of 1.11% this May 14, 2021, coming from 2.9% last May 7, 2021. Our third batch is below the market with a gap of -3.03% this May 14, 2021, coming from -0.5% last May 7, 2021. To summarize our investment, the first batch of magical stocks is gaining by 24.53%, coming from 25.51%. On the other hand, the second batch is losing by -11.86%, coming from -10.22%. Finally, the third batch is losing by -5.31%, coming from -2.95%. Overall, with an investment of 451.11k pesos, our investment's current value is 457.35k pesos, equivalent to 1.38% coming from 3.23%. Thus, we have a gaining first batch, a losing second batch, and a losing third batch. That will be all for the Magical Stocks update this week. Thank you for watching. Next week, we will continue the trend update of the 3 batches of magical stocks and the 4 experimental stocks. Quote, short-term volatility is greatest at turning points and diminishes as a trend becomes established. Unquote. George Soros. See you in the following video. Have a great day ahead.